Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. In my last class I finished the explanation of poem 2 The Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes. Now in this video I am going to discuss theme of the poem, main points of the poem and some extract based questions. I will also discuss short answer type questions and some questions will be given you as your homework. So you must note down all the questions and their answers, theme of the poem, main points of the poem, all the things which I am going to discuss in this video must be noted down in your notebook. So let us begin. Theme of the poem. The poem presents a vivid description of the laburnum tree, which comes alive as the mother bird goldfinch arrives to feed its young ones. Mother is like a pivot that feeds and supports the machinery of the family. After theme, let us discuss main points of the poem. The poet has drawn a beautiful picture of an autumn afternoon. The laburnum tree is silent and still. Its leaves have turned yellow and some seeds have fallen. The whole tree comes to life with the arrival of the goldfinch. Poet has compared the alert, abrupt and sleek movement of goldfinch with a lizard. After feeding her young ones, the goldfinch flies away towards the infinite sky. The laburnum tree becomes quiet and silent once again. The poet has compared the laburnum tree with a machine which starts up at the arrival of its engine, that is goldfinch. Poetic devices or literary devices used in the poem, and we have also discussed literary devices in last video, so let us discuss it once again. Simile. So simile is a poetic device which shows comparison between two things using the words of comparison as, like or so. So sleek as lizard, it is simile because goldfinch has been compared with a lizard. Next poetic device is alliteration. September sunlight. Alliteration is a poetic device in which when two consonant sound comes in nearby word, then it is alliteration. And alert, abrupt, tree, trembles, whistle, chirrup, whispering. So all these are repetition of consonant sound, so they are alliteration. Okay. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is implied simile. It also shows a comparison but without the words of comparison, like as so. Okay. A machine starts up. So family of goldfinch has been referred to as a machine. It is the engine of her family. So the goldfinch is the engine here. So a machine starts up. So here The family of goldfinch has been compared to a machine. So that is why it is metaphor. It is the engine of our family. So the goldfinch is the here. The goldfinch has been compared to an engine. So that is why it is metaphor. Her bared face identity mask. So the shadow on the bird's face is compared to a identity mask. So that is why it is metaphor. Okay. Next is personification. So the whole tree trembles and thrills. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is personification when any non-human thing is given some human qualities. So it is a personification. So here the tree has been personified. Okay. Now let us practice some extract based questions. The laburnum top and same you must, all the things which we are discussing you must note down in your notebook. Okay, it must be noted down by you. The laburnum top is silent, quiet, still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Which season has been described here? So students, as we can see that here, afternoon yellow September sunlight. So it shows that September sunlight, it shows that it is autumn season. It is autumn season. Okay, sorry, spelling is wrong. Yes, it is autumn season. So which season has been described here? It is autumn season, because in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. So that is why it is autumn season. Okay. Next question. Identify the poetic device in the second line. So September sunlight, as we can say, we can see here September sunlight, repetition of sound S. So that's why it is alliteration. Describe the effect of season on laburnum tree. So what was the effect of season on the laburnum tree? So since it was autumn season, so the leaves of the tree have turned yellow and seeds have fallen. Okay. Next question. Find out word from the extract which mean not moving, quiet. So still means not moving and quiet means silent. Next extract. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up, chittering and a tremor of wings and trillings. So let us go through the questions. A. What does she refer to? So here what does she refer to? So she referred to the bird goldfinch. So she referred to the goldfinch. Which poetic device has or have been used in the third line? So which poetic device? So first it is simply sleek as a lizard, sleek as a lizard, and then and, alert, abrupt. So repetition of sound A. So that is alliteration. Okay. Next, what has she been compared to and why? So the goldfinch has been compared to lizard because its movement is quick and alert while flying to find a way to the nest. Okay. So the goldfinch has been compared to a lizard because its movement is quick and alert while trying to find a way in the nest. Next, identify the literary device used in the second last line. So second last line, a machine starts up. So here the family of goldfinch, it is metaphor because the family of the goldfinch has been referred to here as a machine. So the family of goldfinch has been compared as a machine. So that is why it is metaphor. With the arrival of the goldfinch, its young ones fill the tree with movements and sounds. As the poet says that in the beginning the tree was death-like silent. It was a death-like silent on the tree. But when a goldfinch comes with its young ones, then suddenly it starts moving. So here goldfinch is referred to as an engine. So that is why it is metaphor. A comparison is made between goldfinch and engine. Okay. Which word have been used by the poet to describe the sudden startlement on the laburnum tree? So chitterings, tremor of wings, trillings. So these are the words which have been used by the poet to describe the sudden startlement on the laburnum tree. Next, extract. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. She stokes is full and then flirts out to branch and showing her bared face identity mask. Then with the eerie delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite and the laburnum subsides to empty. What is the first question? Identify the figure of speech in the first line. So let us have a look at the first line. The whole tree trembles and thrills. So as we have discussed that here the whole tree has been personified. It shows human qualities. Okay, so that is why it is personification. The whole tree has been personified here, so that is why it is personification. It is personification. The whole tree trembles and thrills. The laburnum tree has been attributed with human-like qualities. It appears to be making voluntary movements. So that is why it is personification. Okay. So with which poetic device has been used in the second line? So in the second line it is the engine of her family. It is the engine of her family. So here family has been here engine of her family. So family has been compared to engine and whole family has been referred to a machine of the tree, engine of the tree. So that is why it is metaphor. Who is the engine? Who is the engine in this poem? So as we have discussed that the goldfinch is the engine of the family, and it stirs it to life and fills the tree with the movements and various sounds. So who is the engine? The bird goldfinch is the engine. What is the meaning of she stokes it full? So the goldfinch has perhaps brought food to feed its young ones, which has filled her family with the excitement and energy. So that is why she stokes it full. So this means the goldfinch has perhaps brought food to feed its young ones, which filled her family with excitement and energy. So it means filled with excitement and energy. Next question. Identify the literary devices used in the fourth line. Literary devices used in the fourth line. So showing its bare identity mask. It is what? Metaphor, because the shadow on the face of goldfinch has been referred to as face mask. Okay. Next is find out the word from the extract which mean bizarre and mysterious. So it is eerie. Eerie means bizarre and mysterious. Which word from the extract can be replaced with the sky? So here infinite, because they flew away in the infinite sky. Okay, so it's all about the poem. Some extra questions on the basis of extract based questions we have discussed. Main points of the poem we have discussed. Okay, and different poetic devices used in this poem we have discussed. Okay, so students, as we haven't discussed some extra questions of chapter 1, the portrait of a lady, and chapter 2, we are not afraid to die, we can be together. So in this video, so after finishing the poem, I am going to discuss some extra questions of those chapters. Okay, so you must note down all these questions and their answers. Okay, let us begin. So how did the grandmother spend her whole day? The grandmother spent her whole day by getting her grandson ready for the school, making chapatis for him and dropping him to school. Besides, she always remained busy in reciting prayers and telling the beads of her rosary. Question number 2. These questions will also help you to remember the chapter very well. So you need not revise it. So once, if you have watched my previous videos, watch this video, then each and every details of the chapter will be cleared. You will have no doubt. Okay, after going through these extra questions. Okay, so you will have no doubt. So what you have to do, so go through all the videos. Okay, question number 2. Why was the grandmother so disturbed when the narrator started going to the city school? It is going, I is missing, it is typing error. Okay, The grandmother was a religious lady who loved to read scriptures and tell the beads of the rosary. When her grandson told her about the subjects being taught at school, she felt offended and reacted strangely. According to her, music was a monopoly of the harlots and beggars. Okay. Question number 3. How did sparrows express their sorrow when the author's grandmother died? So author's grandmother was very fond of feeding sparrows with beads, with bread. It is bread, beta. Again a spelling mistake here. It is typing error. With bread crumbs. When the grandmother died, the sparrows did not take notice of bread crumbs and flew away without eating them. In this way, they expressed their sorrow at her death. How did the author's grandmother behave just before the death? The author's grandmother had got a fair enough idea about her upcoming death. Therefore, she decided not to waste even a single second while talking to her relatives, but reciting the prayers by telling the beads of her rosary. She gave a clear signal to her family that she was no longer interested in talking to them. Why did the grandmother hate music? So grandmother considered that music was indecent and was meant only for harlots and beggars. So it was not meant for gentle folk or school children from respectable families. So that is why she hated music. Why was it hard to believe that the author's grandmother was young and pretty? It was hard to believe that the author's grandmother was young and pretty because the author, as a young boy, had always seen her as an old lady. She was short, statured, and wrinkled all over. She had a quiet personality whom everybody respected. So, to imagine her as a young and pretty girl was a revolting thought for the author. Why was the grandmother dissatisfied with the city's education? So, the grandmother was dissatisfied with the city's education because they never taught about the scriptures and God. Teachers taught science, the law of gravity, etc., which was not of much importance to her. What was the turning point in the author's and grandmother's relationship? So the author had to be sent to a big city for education. So this was the turning point in his and the grandmother's relationship. The author began to receive education in an English medium school. Once again typing error. In an English medium school. The grandmother could not assist him with his assignment and therefore became withdrawn. She began to feel lonely and fed sparrows in her pastimes. Now chapter 2. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, by Gordon Cook and Ella Nist. The story We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together is a story of extreme courage and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family and crewmen in a war with water and waves for survival. Round the World Voyage. In July 1976, the narrator, his wife Mary, son Jonathan and daughter Suzanne set sail from Plymouth, England. Repeating the round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook, took the voyage in the southern Indian Ocean in their professionally built ship, the Wave Walker, a 23-meter long and 30-ton wooden boat. Accompanied by two experienced sailors, Larry Wiesel, an American, and Herb Siesler, a Swiss. The first part of the journey is about 1,05,000 kilometers up to Cape Town past. Attack of the wave. So on the second day they began to encounter strong gales up to 15 meters as high as the main mast. On 25th December, the writer's ship was in the southern Indian Ocean, 3,500 kilometers of the east of Cape Town, had celebrated their New Year in the ship. At dawn on January 2, due to unfriendly weather and gigantic waves, the sailors slow their speed, drop, storm jib, and take other precautions. Sailors complete a life raft drill, attach lifelines and life jackets. Suddenly at 6 p.m., a tremendous explosion shook the Wave Walker, and the author was thrown overboard. The ship was about to capsize when another gigantic wave hit the, tossing it upright once again. In the spirit of injuries, the narrator took charge of the situation. Somehow he found the wheel lined up and stern for the next wave and hang on till Mary appeared and took charge of the wheel. Larry and Herb started pumping out water like madmen. The whole starboard bulged inwards. The narrator managed to cover canvas across the gaps to prevent water from entering the ship. Then came more problems. Their hand pumps stopped working and electric pumps short-circuited. The narrator found in a spare electric pump under the chart room that worked. The entire night was spent in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. The narrator checked charts and calculated that Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their only hope. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. Ultimate victory. Finally, they reached Amsterdam, a volcanic island where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. Thus, the collective strength and never failing uh, optimism of the sailors made it possible for them to come out of the jaws of death. Though Jonathan and Suzanne did not do anything to save Wave Walker, but their courage, faith, and optimism gave extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. Okay, so now go through these questions. You have to note down all the questions. You can pause the video and note down the questions. Okay, so you must do all the questions and their answers in your notebook. So I am just showing the question. You can note it down. You can pause the video and note down all the short type and long answer type questions, as it is very important. Okay, here some questions are solved, so you must also note down all these questions and their answers. Okay, so these are some important questions for you to practice, and some questions have been given with answers. So you should pause the video and go through all the questions and their answers. It will with the help of this you can revise the chapter once again. Okay, you must write all the question answers in your notebook so that you can practice well. Okay, watch all the videos, must do all the question answers in your notebook, go through them, practice them well. So I have revised all the chapters and I have discussed main points and extra questions. Okay, so now in the next video I will start a new chapter. Okay, thank you for watching the video.